Very good morning. This presentation is brought to you by Resonate International with a mission to leverage knowledge worldwide. The topic being covered is rivers, serving purpose beyond self. Ladies and gentlemen, a river does not speak, yet it says so much. It rises quietly from stone or glacier, then journeys across forests, valleys, and cities, bringing life, movement, and meaning. It does not withhold. It does not discriminate. A river simply serves. With quiet constancy, it nourishes all it touches. In the graceful rhythm of a river lies a reminder: the most impactful existence may be the one lived beyond self. To understand the topic, it is important to look at the four related aspects. First, rivers, the pulse of life. Rivers are not just bodies of water, they are lifelines. Nearly 2 billion people draw drinking water directly from rivers. Around 70% of global crops rely on irrigation from their flow. These arteries of earth breathe life into wetlands, recharge aquifers, sustain biodiversity, and shape the fertile plains where civilizations began. And yet, water pollution is abundant, and many rivers no longer reach the sea. Their natural flow has been altered, redirected, fragmented, often to meet human needs, sometimes at the cost of their own survival. Vitality, once taken for granted, now faces unprecedented vulnerability. Second, rivers, nature's wisdom, gently whispering. Across ancient cultures, rivers were more than resources. They were teachers. Stories, songs, and scriptures celebrated their grace, adaptability, and quiet strength. Civilizations rose around them not just because of water, but because of meaning. Today, many young generations experience rivers only through textbooks or satellite images. Yet, there is immense potential to reconnect. Interactive tools, immersive learning platforms, and real-world innovation challenges can bring rivers back into focus, not only as subjects of study, but as companions to understand. A river's story is not old, it is ongoing, and it is waiting to be rediscovered. Third, rivers, changing climates, shifting currents. The climate, too, now shapes the fate of rivers. Glaciers that feed them are retreating. Seasonal flows are shifting. Floods grow more violent, droughts more frequent. By the turn of the century, up to two-thirds of Himalayan glaciers may vanish, directly impacting more than 1.6 billion people downstream. Wetlands, often born of rivers, are among nature's most efficient carbon sinks. 1 acre of wetland can store up to 30 times more carbon than the same area of forest. Preserving them is not only about water, it is about planetary stability. In the rhythm of rivers, climate solutions also flow. The fourth aspect is rivers, shared currents, shared futures. When rivers cross borders, their waters become shared destinies. These currents do not recognize lines drawn on maps, but humans must. Equitable river management requires vision, diplomacy, and a shared sense of stewardship. In several regions, cooperative frameworks have emerged, grounded in science, equity, and trust. These models offer more than governance, they offer hope. When rivers are seen as bridges, not barriers, peace becomes more possible. What's the way forward? The renewal of rivers calls not just for protection, but for a new kind of imagination, anchored in wisdom, guided by practicality. A thoughtful path forward may include, first, a global charter for river stewardship, a shared framework promoting ecological flow, cultural respect, and collaborative governance endorsed at the international level, upheld locally. Second, river innovation missions for the youth, programs encouraging young minds to digitally adopt rivers, track their health, create solutions, and tell their stories. Innovation becomes inheritance. Third, river renaissance funds, blending green finance, philanthropy, and public investment to fund river restoration, especially in climate sensitive or high density regions. Fourth, recognition of rivers as legal persons. As practiced in select nations, granting legal status to rivers introduces accountability and protection under the law. Fifth, urban river revival commitments. Every major city can commit to restoring at least one neglected stream or river bank. Examples like Seoul's Cheonggyecheon show how forgotten rivers can become living monuments of renewal. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, rivers do not teach through noise. They teach through presence. They do not resist. They shape. They do not retreat. They flow quietly but powerfully. In honoring them, humanity honors something deeper, something timeless. As the Bhagavad Gita profoundly states, he into whom all desires flow as rivers into the sea, which through ever being filled remains unmoved, he attains peace, not the one who clings to desire. A river gives everything, yet asks nothing. It offers a way of being, graceful, giving, grounded. In preserving its flow, there is more than ecological wisdom. There is life's own rhythm. Let the rivers keep flowing. Let humanity learn to flow with them, serving purpose beyond self. Good luck, best wishes, and God bless.